Ah, are we filming? Okay. The We Bare Bears movie adventure. Date: June 25th, 2025. Once upon a time in San Francisco, there were three bears named Grizz, Panda, and Ice Bear. They all lived in a cave south of the city. One day, Grizz wakes up from a dream of him walking on train tracks and finding Panda. That's where they meet for the very first time, by the way. He wakes up and realizes that today is the day that a poutine restaurant opens in downtown San Francisco. Guys, we have to get to that poutine restaurant, Grizz says. Oh, but it's so early. Icebear doesn't mind. Icebear likes poutine. They get into the Icebear's 2017 model electric vehicle and drive there. On their way, they were so sorry. They were so frick. They were so impatient for poutine that they end up driving very chaotically. They drive through a wedding and even a Lady Gaga concert. It was a concert supporting her Mayhem album. And then eventually they reach the restaurant and are greeted by a Canadian woman selling poutine. Yes, as for lights, I've had poutine. Some poutine.
Alright, that'll be $5.
Wait, what province are you from?
What province? I'm from Alberta. Why?
Esther was just curious. Grizz was reaching into his pocket for his wallet to get the money, but they didn't have any money, as Panda spent all their money on a Twitch e-girl named Sunshine Sparkle on a Discord server called Skibidi Toilet Central. But then, just as they were about to yell at him, Nom Nom drove up in his golden limo and orders poutine that looks like him. Because of the chaos the bears caused throughout the city, they are now really hated. More hated than the most hated people on Earth, in fact. They are screamed at by their residents, and even trash is thrown at them. The city eventually calls Agent Trout to get rid of them. The three of them get back into Icebear's car and drive off sad. Later, I can't believe the city hates us now. My social media followers disappeared, said Panda. They shouldn't have spent our money on frickin' e-girls. She was hot, okay? Said Panda. Later at the cave, about 2 hours later, Grizz hears a knock at the door. It was Chloe. Oh, hey Chloe, what's going on? She was also sad.
Well, you see how you're hated by the city and stuff?
Yeah? Don't remind me.
Well, I'm also hated because of my association with y'all. My parents even granted me Go Animate style.
Which was, oh, Chloe, how dare you associate with the bears? That's it, you are grounded for 843,646 years. Go to your room now. And then that's when she ran out of her house and went towards the bear's house, and now here they were. Icebear speaks up and says, Icebear says we have to go to Canada to escape Agent Trout. The bears pack up out of the stuff in their rooms and in their house. Chloe sneaks back to her house, gathers her things out of her room. As Icebear goes through the fridge that is his room, he packs up his TV, which shows his ice skating competition things, his ice, as well as the Rasmus posters. It was a poster of their 2003 album called Dead Letters. Who knew he was into that kind of stuff? Anyway, they get into his car and began to drive off. Icebear says, there's something Icebear has to do first. Icebear then turns on the shrink button in the car and flies the car into a vent leading into the inside of Nom Nom's mansion, where Nom Nom is having an interview with an Ellen-type figure in the city. Hopefully she's not overly mean. They were doing a segment on a weird We Bear Bears animated San Francisco version of the Ellen DeGeneres show. But anyway, Nom Nom was doing his interview and was like,
Yeah, that's how I got famous. Well, for some reason, Farmer left me back in 2022.
I guess that's karma for having my quote-unquote brother, Kyle, sneak into my house back in 2017.
Oh, what was that like?
Said the host. Well, I was on the same exact show we're doing now, and then suddenly we get a call and it said, "Huh, that's really weird.
What's going on?
I think a tiny car just drove into my ear." Meanwhile, with the bears and Chloe, they're inside Nom Nom's internal organs in the car. Esper says, "Well, there's nothing in here besides a cold, heartless koala. Time to grow back to normal size." No! We're still inside his body! Yeah, man, don't do this! What are we about to do? Night Ice Bear laughs maniacally like a mental patient. Ice Bear knows. He clicks the grow button in the car, and it begins to grow bigger and bigger. Oh, it feels like a 2017 model electric vehicle is growing bigger and bigger in my internal organs. Oh! Nom Nom then exploded as the car grew to its normal size and kills him. That's one for the kill count. Anyway, Iceberg drives up on a nearby street and says, "Well, that was fun, wasn't it?" He was the only one who was happy, and he was wearing black box glasses for some reason. You know, the same glasses SpongeBob wears when he goes jellyfishing. Yeah, those. Chloe looked traumatized, and Panda and Grizz were holding on to each other in fear. Esper says, "Let's get this show on the road." He takes the car through the car wash and then drives away from San Francisco. Esper has a new song he wants to listen to. He turns on the song. He says, "It's about living with Panda and Grizz for years." The song that played in question was the song "Numb" by Linkin Park. They arrive in Sacramento, where they have to stop for fuel and food. After they fueled up, Ice Bear notices how much food Grizz has ordered, and he says, "Grizz, I'm absolutely disgusted with how much frickin' food you bought. You pretty much bought all of half of McDonald's and Burger King." Grizz says, "Oh yeah, I haven't gotten to eat all day. Don't blame me, man." He ate all of his food, like Nikocado avocado. Panda said, "Can I at least have one french fry?" Grizz says, "No!" He said, "Whatever," Ice Bear then said as he drove off. Chloe looked out her window and noticed the Sierra Mountains looming above them as they drove.
Wow! Never been this far inland,
says Chloe. I guess there's a first for everything. They then stop in Reno when they stop for the night. Should we get like a hotel or something? No, Esper says we're sleeping in the car. But little bro, it's gonna be so crowded in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, what if I had to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night? You mean take your phone out and look at e-girls? They were still mad at him for spending their money on e-girls. They then booked a hotel for the night out of Iceberg's reluctance, with what little money they could have. They bought a room at some really crappy motel in the city. And then they got into bed and slept. To be continued.